I think I can comfortably say Happy New Year since we still have 4 days left in this month. It's good to see each and every one of you, and we thank you for being here today. I'm Christy Swink Benson. I am the Chief Spokesperson for Metro, and I will be helping to facilitate today's briefing with Chairman Smedberg. He will provide an update, and then we will take your questions immediately following his comments. So without further ado, Chairman.
Thank you, Christy. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining today. So obviously we have a lot on our plate, but I know one thing you're all very much interested in, and that's the GM search. So let me provide an overview here of where we stand currently. The board's executive committee will serve as the search committee for the next general manager. Members of the search committee will include DC Deputy Mayor Lucinda Babers, Maryland Secretary of Transportation Jim Ports, Federal Representative Sarah Klein, and I will chair the committee. We've engaged K&A Partners, a local executive search firm with a national and international reach. They recently completed the search for the Denver Regional Transportation District and Dallas's Rapid Transit CEO. They've also been involved in several other high-profile recruitments at MTA, BART, MARTA, and many others. I am committed, and this board is definitely committed to a highly collaborative, consensus-driven process that will enable us to attract and properly consider any number of talented executives for this position, as well as provide a smooth leadership transition for Metro, the region, and our customers. While the board is still building a candidate profile, I can say that a lot of what I've seen reported by many of you is pretty much spot on. Metro definitely needs a chief executive that will continue to partner with the board to guide Metro into the future with bold ideas that address the number of issues that we're facing right now, not only at Metro, but that the transit industry itself is dealing with nationally, workforce related issues, international visitors to the city, and others. So we're committed to getting the right leader but that's going to take some time, but we are moving expeditiously to ensure that we have a smooth transition. And so while the process will be kept confidential for the candidates, we will regularly update the public, and we will be transparent as possible as to our progress and on the search and the board's priorities during that search. So that's a quick update on where we are with the search. We'll have more to say next month in February, but that's where we are right now.
We'll take questions if any of you have questions for the chairman. Adam, it looks like you're trying to.
Yeah. Hi, guys. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, we can.
Paul, the last time, first of all, thanks for doing this, guys. And I think we should have these kinds of availabilities more because, after every board meeting, we always used to be able to ask you guys questions. Can't really do that anymore, but this is great that we actually can, pose some questions to you guys. The last time this happened, Paul, the first choice actually before Paul Wiedefeld, the board went outside the box and actually hired an aerospace executive. The thinking at that time was that Metro needed somebody who wasn't exactly a transit professional, that we wouldn't get back into the same cycle. Do you see yourselves going in that direction now? I know we're very early on, but will you be open to people from outside the transit industry?
Yeah, we're having detailed discussions right now with the board on what that candidate profile and the attributes that we'd like to see in an executive. It's quite possible that there is a talent out there that is a strong manager that has some transit or transportation experience. And as you know, Adam, you also have to be politically savvy and savvy with the public. And so, it's sort of a rare mix, but, at this stage, we are, looking for the best candidates possible.
And if I could just follow up quickly, you obviously, I think this caught a lot of people by surprise. Were you surprised at Mr. Wiedefeld's decision here? And does he leave the agency? Does it look like he's leaving the agency at the worst possible time?
No, I mean, Paul has been here for 6 years now, and that's longer than a lot of people stay in these positions. And, Paul has done an amazing job since his arrival and how he's helped transform this organization. Obviously, we have challenges and everything, as you well know, but yet he has made major advancements, over those 6 years. And, I think Paul has said, we're going to need someone to really take us to that next stage, and someone who's going to be committed for the next several years to do that. So that's our focus. That's his focus. He's committed to help us with that transition. And, I think it was a very, personal decision on his part to leave the organization. But I think we're all, very thankful to Paul for the work he's done. But we're also hopeful that, we'll have a new leader, and we'll take it to the next step, or the next level.
You don't think there's any optics that he's abandoning the agency right now?
I do not. I mean, he's really put in a lot of work. He's brought in a lot of great people who are doing, good work. And again, there's challenges, no doubt. But I think he I think he feels like, it's going to need a long-term commitment to take the organization into the next stage. As you know, the travel industry and transit in general is in flux throughout the nation. And, we have a lot of tough questions we're going to have to ask of this organization in this region. So, we're looking for a new leader to do that.
All right, we'll go Justin. Thank you, Adam. We'll go Justin and then Jordan.
Paul, Christy, thank you. Paul, I wanted to ask you, if you were looking at a new GM, do you see the financial issues with the stimulus money running out and telework becoming more prevalent? The job of finding or retaining or recruiting back new passengers to be the top goal of the next general manager? And do you have any sort of ideas? I know that this is not just a problem that Metro is facing, but every transit agency. So have you been talking to peers and other agencies about solutions, and what might they include?
Well, look, I think anyone that is going to apply for the position of GM of WMATA is going to be someone who has solid management skills and has a pretty solid background in fiscal management as well. I mean, I think there's some general underlying skill sets that a person applying for this job is going to have. And I think finance is definitely one of them. And I think safety and customer service are two others. Someone who has an appreciation for that. So I think those are going to be a given. So I think it's going to be all those other types of qualities that we're still working our way through that is going to be the important piece here. But I think there's it's going to be an executive that has sort of assumed skill sets right up right from the beginning. But those financial challenges will definitely be top of mind for us, as we work our way through this, because they are going to be, daunting. And it isn't just for 24, it's for 25 and 26. It's going to take, several years to work through this as, the federal money does run out.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Jordan?
Hey, Paul. Thanks for doing this. Couple quick questions. One, I kind of wonder, I was looking at some of the job requirements and just some of the things that they'll have to face going forward. Do you think this is a job that would be attractive to a lot of candidates? I mean, it's obviously got a lot of challenges, really. I mean, do you think you're going to have people interested in something that's quite a big job?
I mean, I do, and I'm hopeful we do. Despite the challenges, Paul, again, has assembled a good team that is working on these, our chief safety officer and others, and we've got other people in that second tier that are really skilled managers. But I think the challenge of, the possibility of transforming Metro, if you will, and addressing a lot of the challenges regionally. You know, how are people going to be using Metro in the future? What does Metro look like in the future? You know, those are all big questions, and I think it would be pretty exciting for an executive who wants to do something like that. And I suspect we will have any number of people applying, you know, for this position.
And do you think this, I mean, are you looking internationally as well, or nationally, or kind of anybody that wants to apply? I know a lot of people always look at, Asian countries that have really well-run transit systems, some European agencies. Are you limiting to just kind of American, or what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I think at this point in our discussions with the board and, you know, the recruiter, I mean, I think at this point, you know, anyone who applies. I mean, whether they're here in the US or abroad, but, you know, we haven't limited to that, and I don't suspect we will at this point. So I can't imagine we would anyway. So.
Thank you, Jordan. Anyone else have questions?
Can I ask another one, or is anybody else?
Okay, Adam, sure, go for it.
Paul, can you address the 7000 series? I mean, obviously the bus is coming back is a good thing, but I mean, this has to be a bit unnerving for you guys that we're going on and on and on with this process. We still don't know what the root cause is. I know it's, you know, it's still under investigation, but any assurances that you can give to riders, and the thought process is out there now that what if these trains don't ever come back?
Yeah. I mean, Adam, I think what I can say is that the root cause analysis is well underway. Staff is working through all the bullet points, if you will, or, you know, aspects of that right now and eliminating things. And so, you know, I think we should be fairly, you know, optimistic at this point, you know, that we'll be able to come to some conclusion.
The other thing that I'll ask is, a lot of people are asking us, not just me, but everybody else here on this call that's a media member, why they're still having to pay full prices when they're not getting full service. And as the board, you guys are able to take some steps to do some things. I know in the budget that's coming up, there are some, you know, some discounts and things like that. But is there any sort of relief for people that they can get while they continue to deal with what are really punishing delays?
Yeah. So, you know, the 23, you know, outreach to the public for, you know, for the budget has started. We've already heard, I think, from hundreds of people on various topics. You know, so everything will be on the table. You know, we haven't eliminated anything yet. And, you know, I'm sure fair policies will be discussed, you know, because we want to get ridership back. You know, the elected leaders and other stakeholders see the importance of Metro. And when people do come back to work, it's important that we get them on transit and not back on the roads. So, you know, everything, you know, will be on the table at this point.
Jordan, I see your hand raised.
Yeah, this is this is more of a general question, but, you know, I know the return to office timeline has been really squishy for a lot of people. Anecdotally, I had some friends ask me about Metro's 7000 series trains. You know, they've kind of heard the 90-day mid-April timeline for those, you know, at the earliest coming back. They got, you know, their official word that, oh, we're coming back in April. They're concerned about, you know, limited service, crowded trains, that sort of thing. I don't know if, you know, this seems to change weekly, monthly, but what's kind of the latest you've been hearing about that? And, you know, how do you think Metro will be able to kind of, you know, take on that challenge as maybe more people return to the office?
Yeah, I think, you know, we're hearing, you know, and the Metro staff is hearing, you know, we talk regularly to business leaders and people around the region. You know, it appears at this point it's going to be a gradual return. You know, it's not going to be, you know, March 1st, everyone's coming back. I think offices are, from what I'm hearing, and I know what many others are hearing, is that, you know, there's starting points, you know, all over the calendar. So it looks like it's going to be more of a gradual return to work as opposed to everyone coming back on the same day. So that's, I think, what we're anticipating at this point, as best we can tell. which, in some ways would be helpful, obviously managing that. But, and as we all know, we did have a little encouragement, prior to Omicron, in November, December, ridership was up as people were starting to, again, gradually come back to the office. Ridership was going up, until things, shut down again. So, hopefully we'll have a little more definitive word from folks, but it looks like right now it'll be a gradual return to the office.
And do you think, I mean, when I was writing, we were back into the office, 1 or 2 days a week, before the Omicron variant, and I'd say trains were comfortable. I mean, I didn't go into work till, 8:15, 8:30, so I'm not sure what it's like at 7 or anything like that, but, those probably seats and that sort of thing. But I mean, if we do get a lot of people back to the office, how's Metro going to accommodate that with, trains being out? I mean, bus service is kind of coming back, but will trains be able to handle that?
Yeah, I think staff feels they will be able to, and that's why we're actually obviously trying to work through the 7,000 series issues, quickly and properly as possible.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Jordan. Do we have any additional questions? I don't see any hands raised. Well, we definitely want to thank the chairman for taking time today to brief you all. Adam, we will take your comments into consideration in terms of making these briefings more available. We'll be in touch, and we appreciate you being here today.